and she should be focusing on the screen.
See, I got
She's bossy.
Okay. By the way, the reason that she was late, okay, is that she found the clinical focus for oxygenation perfusion, which is
It's the cardiovascular assessment one.
cardiovascular stuff. So I'm going to post this on announcements, so you can pull this up because it will be for next week to be together. Okay. So I will
Blood
try-
moves forward. That's all you need to remember.
Because we don't care about the valve problems till the end of the semester, so that would make it not move forward. I'm going back to a little bit in the handbook, and I know most of you don't have, like, except for Will, he has his handbook there. But okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Now I'm seeing hard copy handbooks here in front of me. Oh my! Everybody has a handbook.
There might be hope.
Critical thinking, let's hit on that for a second, because this is going to be a requirement. Everybody's got to do it once during their clinical experience. This is a full day responsibility. You will be getting 6 patients that you will do head to toe assessments on. A real assignment to a unit like 3B, 4D, step down units, you have 6 patients. That's the assignment at the medical center. Is that true at Greenview too?
depending on their census, but 5 to 6.
5 to 6. So the issue is during critical thinking, you're going to take a team, you're going to take a group of patients, you're going to go in and you're going to do the head-to-toe assessment, you're going to fill out your paperwork. I, again, don't want the paperwork specifically, but you're going to fill out the paperwork. That's what drugs are they on. This is critical thinking, as the name implies. You're going to decide which is your priority patient. Now, I'm going to say my experience on 3B, because that's where I've had clinical students for the last 3 years. First priority is get all their meds in by 0900. And they better not have anything else go wrong with them before 0900. Because that's kind of what, if you really pay attention, that's kind of the way it looks. But hopefully that's not the way it truly is. But the key is when you're looking at these 6 patients, it is, you got to get your meds in which by at least 9:30 if they're 9 o'clock meds. But the point is, there are things that come up. Let's say I have a patient who's been discharged and I need that bed. Does that change my prioritization of patients?
Of course not. The ER can hold them.
And they love to do that so well, don't they? She said the ER could hold them.
After they call every 5 minutes trying to get a report on them.
To whoever will take it.
We saved them. We're sending them to you guys.
To maintain.
That's right.
But anyway, my point is, if that patient needs to go out, you have different responsibilities. And one of the biggest considerations for a discharged patient is, have they been educated appropriately to be discharged? I'm never letting her, there's never going to be a snow day on Monday again. Because they will be required to come in. I'll send an email out. I don't care, meet someplace. Snow plow to the area.
We have had education is the most important thing you can do, regardless that discharge education. We have people that will come in the ER all the time that, you know, it's like, I've got smoking cessation information, but I've never smoked. Well, oh, I do have heart failure because they gave me discharge papers that have heart failure on them. They kill a tree with the discharge papers, any of y'all that have been at medical center, and they give you that. Now think of someone that has a 3rd grade education and no medical knowledge. They go home and read that. They're on death's bed simply because of what's been suggested to them. Big issue, big issue.
But my point was that you need to go through that information and not give them stuff that's not applicable. I've been doing a lot of discharge education for a lot of years, and it's just not acceptable to give them a whole book of information that doesn't apply to them. But that's why they readmit. I mean, we got issues where patients are truly compliant with what they understand. It's just they don't understand what's been given to them, and there's no follow-up. So I have to make sure that they're educated appropriately to go home. Or I have a patient that had starting to have stat chest pain. Yeah, I still got 3 patients to give my 9 o'clock meds to, but this patient's having stat chest pain. So what should be my priority? Stat chest pain. Because that patient may need to be mobilized to the cath lab immediately. Because some of your units will be units where these are patients that can transition into a cath lab experience right away.
And again,
So
that
again-
plays back in. You're going to have lots of prioritization questions this semester, and NCLEX has boosted the prioritization up. So practice it every clinical day. You have to do it with this assignment, but every clinical day. Who would I get to first?
So you will be given 1 day out of your 12 days will be a critical thinking experience day. So that day you'll take 6 patients. You'll be assigned on your general unit, which will be 3B or 4D in the medical center. I'm not sure, but it's a telemetry type unit at Greenview. And that will be the unit where you will not have those patients assigned to you, will not be assigned to that nurse. You will be going in, interviewing those patients, doing full head to toe assessments, and then looking at the meds, going through the charts, and then by the end of the day during post-conference, you will be giving your prioritization, that 1 through 6. You can do, this is my least priority to my most, or you can do my most to my least, I don't care which way, and you need to be able to rationalize why you made those choices. And the other obligation for the engagement of the group is the rest of you need to be critically thinking along with them. They're going to give you basic information. You're going to say, well, why did you put that patient before this patient? And it's not picking on anybody. It's just thinking about what makes the patient more significant, it needs more care than somebody else. Okay? So just automatically, just because they're being discharged does not mean that they're the least priority. This may be the patient that just had a new amputation or just was diagnosed with new diabetes, and that is a monstrosity to go home as a new diabetic and try to figure out how to stay above water. Okay? Everybody okay with critical thinking? And the first one's always the guinea pig. So if you want to, kind of give me any kind of gifts or things before I make the assignments out.
My assignment's already made.
Mine's already made too, so I'm just kidding. Everything's done. Okay, evidence-based practice. This is a different day that you'll have, and again, you don't have specific patient assignments that day on a unit, but this is usually evidence-based practice can go according to, let's say it's a ventilator-associated pneumonia as your evidence-based. So we're on respiratory, which is the 2nd week. In that particular week, you will have a protocol to read that is a national, most of the time internationally based protocol. And those are all the same for every clinical group. There's a folder, I got yours in my office, that has each week a different evidence-based practice. So the first one will be ventilator-associated pneumonia. We won't do one on cardiovascular assessment, but we'll do one on pneumonia, evidence from ventilators. And so there's a very specific protocol from the American Association of Critical Care Nurses that says what you need to do to manage those patients. So in that